Today on this impromptu nerd out, I'm going to go over some of the E3 announcements that I'm interested in. Welcome to this emergency nerd out. My name is JustinTime, and today we're going to talk about, like I said, the E3 2021 announcements. Now, E3 2021 is still not over yet, but these were the main spots that I was looking at more. However, I did two places I just appeared at, basically. Actually, no. One place I appeared at and had a fun time watching. Another place, planning on seeing what they were going to do, and they didn't surprise me. But I will say, one that I didn't show up to, which was the Ubisoft conference. I don't really know what Ubisoft's planning, which is a bad thing. I guess that's because I haven't watched it, but no one's really talking about it except for that new Avatar game. And I still have to watch a trailer for it, but, I might give it a shot. But we're going to start off with the first E3 conference I went to, which was Devolver Digital's. Basically, also, this video is just going to be me listing off the games that I'm interested in. I might go into some that I'm really interested in. A few of them I don't really remember what the premise is or that, and a couple of them I just wanted to bring up. So, Devolver Digital has announced that they're going to be releasing Wizard with a Gun, Phantom Abyss, which is like, the mechanic in Dark Souls where you can see where people fucked up. That's the whole game. Or it's that, but the whole game, and it's a parkour puzzle. What else is it? Platformer. That's what it is. That's what I was looking for. It's a platformer with basically that mechanic of seeing the phantoms of the past, basically from Dark Souls, but it's actual players that have tried and failed. You also have Death's Door, Demon Throttle, which is actually just out now, only on physical copies, which I might pick up for Switch, even though I don't own a Switch. Shadow Warrior and Inscryption, which is this weird card game that was actually quite interesting the longer the trailer went on. First, my friend Liam and I were watching and we were like, is this just a card game? It seems boring. And it slowly got creepier as it went on, and then we were like, this might have something. Next up, which is one that I watched with my friend Josh, we're going to talk about Microsoft. I think Microsoft already announced this, last year, but they announced it this year, and it's called 12 Minutes. It's a top-down view game. It stars James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, Willem Dafoe. Also, how can I forget, they're also doing Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's campaign side has me a little interested, even though I'm not that big of a fan of Halo. But big one that really got me, that even I'm interested in, is the Halo Infinite multiplayer. Among Us got some love at E3 this year with the announcement that they're going to be increasing lobby sizes to 15, so you could have more than just 10 people, or 10 or so, I forget how many. It's been a while since I played Among Us, but there's also going to be guns. I had to give this one a little nod because I did enjoy the narrator getting really meta for the trailer, as well as just being a pretty fun trailer to watch, especially with the meta-ness, and that is The Outer Lands 2, or The Outer Worlds 2, my bad. Another game that I'm actually hyped for, my friend Liam's hyped for, and Josh was there, and he's like, it looks interesting, and we're all going to play it when it comes out. It's called Redfall, and it's vampires. Imagine Left 4 Dead, but with vampires. Sounds interesting, right? And let's not forget that fridge, though. I think before this E3, I knew that at some point I'd be picking up a next-gen console maybe sometime this year, or maybe sometime next year, but I didn't know which one, if I'd go with the PS5 or the Xbox One S. I guess it depends on which one I can find in the store, or the one that I can find online that's not like $1,000. But once I saw that mini fridge, Xbox has my money first. I'm sorry, Sony. Next up, we're going to go to the one that one time it surprised me with just the sheer amount of this type of game is there. Squeenix. My god, I'm pretty sure I paid attention to all the games that were coming out, Squeenix, and you only announced 4 brand new games. They spent a really long time on the new Guardians of the Galaxy game, which when I first heard of it, I was interested, but once I saw the gameplay in that, I was like, probably not a game for me. They also spent way too long on it, so there's that. The other new games that they announced were Babylon's Fall, which is, I guess, based off the story of Babylon. The trailer was very confusing. Life is Strange True Colors, the third in the Life is Strange series. They, for some reason, were saying her psychic power was empathy, but I think they meant empath, but I don't think you say empathy for empath, because that's just something most humans have is empathy. And empaths feel emotions. They can see or you can feel the other people's emotions. It's not empathy where you just like, I have empathy for you and that. And also they're Stranger in Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Also, I can't really say anything about the Life is Strange games because I've never played them, but are you serious? They just are releasing the games but with a filter. And they're expanding on the Avengers game that once people found out it wasn't gonna have like the MCU characters basically in it, the interest took a tanking. And oh my god, Squeenix, don't come to E3 if you're gonna just tell us about the 20 damn mobile games. I watched PC gaming shows, and there's one game that I was like, I'm glad that I watched this for, even though it was like halfway through the show. But there's a bunch of games that I'm going to be bringing up for either just as a topic or as an interest for me. Vampire the Masquerade, it's another vampire game. I love vampires. Gigabash, I don't really remember what that was though. But I know the name was interesting to me. Lemniscate sounds like a nightmare. Might give it a shot, but it does sound like a nightmare. It's a first-person turn-based, or first-person shooter turn-based strategy game. Meaning, you take a turn for 25 seconds, and then I get to take a turn for 25 seconds. My turn could counteract your turn, is how they explained it. And it sounds very complex and very, very complicated, and a logistical nightmare. But I might give it a chance. You might see me talk about it on the channel at some point. Next Space Rebel is just a science YouTuber simulator with rockets. Ixion is like a sci-fi space travel game. There's Killing Floor 2 in Interstellar Insanity. That just looked interesting. Here's the game that I really liked, although it's another park builder. Jurassic World Evolution 2. This time, instead of it being on islands, we're going to the mainland. Same as how Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom brought the dinosaurs to the mainland, and how Jurassic World Dominion is going to continue it on the mainland. Silt is this creepy underwater 2D perspective story. Looks interesting. There's Hello Neighbor 2. I'm a little iffy on that because I remember how hyped Hello Neighbor was, and then when I finally saw the game, I actually was one of those people that just went, no, this looks boring. And also it's one of those puzzle games where you can't play second time, and it's not as fun unless you know what you're doing. Gloomberg, I think is what it was. Looks interesting. How they described it was it's similar to like, it has that feeling like a Call of Cthulhu and some of those other types of games feel. Tinykin looked fun and looked like a nice little relaxing game to play. Chernobylite, there was a game from in the Microsoft talk called Stalker 2, which takes place in Chernobyl, but this one's more interesting. It sounds like it has monsters, as well as you're also living in Chernobyl. And you have Icarus, a survival multiplayer game, or a single player game. I didn't catch if it was just single player, multiplayer, or both. Where you just try and survive, and try and build a rocket, and get off the planet. PC gaming show also showed off some tech, and two of them that I caught that I found interesting was you're going to have the Impulse, which is a neuro controller for your hand that will help send signals faster than just you normally. We're like getting this close to Ready Player One, basically, is what this controller is doing. And then the 1X player is basically, imagine the Switch, but it's an entire PC. And that's the stuff that I found interesting from E3 2021. I think I'm going to try and catch the Capcom one tomorrow, but you know, what are you gonna do? Mainly, I just want to know if there's anything gonna be coming with RE Versus, because they fucking bundled it with no matter what way you bought Resident Evil Village. And if they just gave you a game that's basically not even being made, what the fuck, guys? But anyways, what games did you find interesting at the E3? Are you hyped about some of these games? Let me know in the comments below. Until next video, I'll see you in the future. Bye, guys.